Hi, it's Suzy from Active Seniors here with another quick exercise tip. Now this week we're going to be discussing some exercises for your shoulders. Now if you do have any problems or any pain with your shoulders, just take some of the exercises with caution, and if you experience any pain at any point, please make sure to stop. The first exercises that I'm going to show you are working on the mobility of the shoulder, and specifically into a movement that we call extension. We spend a lot of time reaching in front of us, reaching to the side, and even reaching up overhead. We don't spend as much time reaching behind, and as a result our shoulders can get a little bit stiff. Now you can test this for yourself if you stand up nice and tall, and if you can, interlock the fingers behind your back. This is your first test to see if you can get into this position. You should be able to raise the arms up away from the back without leaning forward and without experiencing any pain into the shoulders. Now ideally we should be able to lift our arms up at a 45-degree angle from our body. So if you found that that was difficult to do, or you had any stiffness throughout the movement, then the two mobility exercises that I'm going to show you might help with that. We'll start with the easier of the two. So you're going to need a broomstick or something similar. If you do have a broomstick that has a detachable head, take the head off before you do the movement, and that way it just won't get in the way as you're doing this movement. If not, just make sure it's on the lowest end of the broom as you're doing the movement. So if I'm going to stretch out my right side, I'll hold towards the bottom of the broomstick. I'll make sure that the broomstick is sitting behind my arm, and I'll use my other arm to assist this arm, trying to bring the arm as far back as I can and the shoulder as high as possible. Making sure not to lean forward, and again, if I'm getting any pain, that I make sure that I stop short of that position. Okay, so bringing it up as high as I can, pausing for a couple of seconds, and then back down. Now you want to ideally repeat this 6 to 8 times, and the best time to do it is when the body is warm. So that's either after something like a shower where the heat of the water has warmed the area, or after a walk or an exercise session as well. Now another option that you can use is using a chair to try and move the body around and get that arm into that same position. But again, this requires a little bit more mobility than the broomstick, so if you get any pain getting into the starting position, then don't proceed with the movement. So you're going to be holding on to the back of the chair for the entire movement. If you can get into this position pain-free, then you can proceed, but just take it nice and slowly on your first repetition. You're then going to have your feet shoulder width apart. Try and keep your back relatively straight, although you will lean forward a little bit as you move into a squat. And then we're going to squat down. And you'll notice that as I'm going down, my shoulder is rising up behind me, moving into that extension position. So again, after either a shower or some exercise, so that the muscles are nice and warm and the connective tissues are nice and warm, no pain throughout the movement, and doing 5 to 6 repetitions. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tip. Stay safe. Make sure if you haven't already registered for the 12-week program that you do so. It starts next week. And stay active. We'll see you soon for another exercise tip.